Hi Flosstube. How's it going? Deanna here from Tuxie Twin Stitches, and guess who I have to introduce to you today? Miss Sammykins. Say hello, Angel. Says hello. I'm shy. I don't like to be picked up. She's purring. She's very happy. I got Sammy about a year and a half ago. I adopted her here in Newfoundland, and it was a trial adoption at first just to see how she would get along with Jarvis, and Jarvis gets along with everyone, so she's just going to stay on my lap now. She's very gentle and loving. I call her my little mom because she likes to take care of me. She likes to help me get dressed in the morning. She'll lie on my clothes, make sure there's an adequate amount of cat fur. She tucks me in, and if I'm late to bed, she'll stand at my doorway and just sort of, if she could tap her wrist, say, you know, Miss, do you know what time it is? She would. Hello, sweetie. So, she's a cutie. So, she's the other half of the Tuxie Twin Stitches. Jarvis is having a little timeout in my room so that he doesn't cause shenanigans, right? I know, boys. So, I'm drinking out of my New York Starbucks mug because Carmen from Broadway Stitcher issued me an ultimatum, a challenge, to talk about my trip to Guernsey, which was a few years ago now. So before we get into stitching, I'm just going to talk about my trip to Guernsey. So back in 2014, 2014, I moved to England for a year, and I worked as an au pair, a nanny. And it was a really good experience. I had a lot of fun. Taking care of other people's kids is challenging, especially when you live with the family. Sometimes it can feel like you can't escape. But they were a great family, and they were, you know, good kids. But, you know, taking care of other kids is difficult. But I did get to travel a lot, and, you know, they weren't too far away from London, so I got to go into London, you know, pretty much every other weekend. And I got to go to Paris a couple times, and I went to Guernsey. And the reason I wanted to go to Guernsey was because I, like Carmen, had read the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. I don't have the book with me. It's at home in Ontario. But I loved it. So good. And I'm an Anglophile. I love all things British. But I had never really heard a whole lot about Guernsey and the Channel Islands, which also include Jersey and Alderney. So reading that book really opened my eyes to a piece of, you know, the Second World War that I hadn't really heard a lot about. And as a history buff and a history major, I felt a little ashamed that I didn't know about this before I had read the book. And it's heartbreaking. You know, you're living on an island, and you're trapped. You're essentially taken hostage by the Nazis. And they lived the entire war like that. But it was a wonderful book, and when I moved to England. I had looked up prices of plane tickets and hotels to see if I could go and how cheap it would be. And I found a good flight, and I found a really good deal on a hotel. I think it was the time of year I went. I went in between Christmas and New Year's, and it was just for a few days. But most people don't go there in the winter. So my hotel was pretty cheap. I stayed at the Cobo Bay Hotel, which is just outside the main city of St. Peter Port. So there's not really a town. I think they're like districts or something like that. And it's Cobo Bay. There's also Vaison Bay and a bunch of other small areas. But St. Peter Port is the main hub of the island. So it was about 3 kilometers outside of St. Peter Port, and you could get the bus into town every hour. So I stayed there. My hotel room looked out into the ocean. What more could you ask for? And it was pretty reasonable. I know that prices almost double per night if you're going in the summer. It's a huge summer destination, so if anyone is looking to go, just beware that if you go during the summer months, which is prime tourist season, you will pay a lot of money. But just, it was beautiful. I would go back in a heartbeat. I absolutely loved it. It's breathtakingly beautiful. The people are lovely. The history's amazing. It's just charming. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be charming. So hopefully these show up. These are just off my phone, because all the pictures and stuff I had bought or pictures I had taken are at home in Ontario. So these are off my phone from my Facebook page, and I hope you can see it. So this is the view from my hotel, and this is this is Cobo Bay, and there's houses there, and the sunset was beautiful. These are the boats at St. Peter Port. In the background there, you can see, what was it? It's a castle. I forget what the castle's name is. But it's just stunning. And let's see. The museum there, they have a statue of Victor Hugo. Victor Hugo spent some time in Guernsey, which is really interesting. So we've got a really cool statue of Victor Hugo there. This is another picture of the ocean. The beaches are very rocky, and it's amazing. And the flora and fauna there is, it's in the Channel Islands, so it's between England and France, but so you have a very interesting ecosystem where you have your typical like British ecosystem similar to the Atlantic provinces here in Canada, but then you have almost like a Mediterranean ecosystem as well. So there are like palm plants, not palm trees, but like palm plants intermixed with, other foliage. And the wildlife there is also, commingled together. It's a really interesting place. So this is one of the forts. And so this is one of the forts that the Germans built when they occupied. And they're very stark. When you see this beautiful landscape and beaches and the ocean and these quaint little cottages, and then you see something like this where it's just very industrial, concrete, foreboding. It's not the greatest, but it's a stark reminder of just what happened there. But one last thing I will tell you guys is they have these little carts that they put outside of their houses and or stands, and they put their extra fruit and veg, and they call them hedge veg because it's by the hedge, and it's people can take the fruit or veg, and you pay via the honor system. So you put whatever you can afford, and then you can take, some fruit or veg. So this was a strawberry stand for local strawberries, and a lot of houses do it. A lot of people on the island have a veg hedge, sorry. But it's really cute, and if you look it up, it's amazing. It was really fun. So I had a great time there. I would go back in a heartbeat. Obviously, probably more expensive to go now than it was when I lived in England, but if I ever win the lottery, I'll go back. So, Carmen, I hope that was sufficient. But if not, you can always message me and I'll try and tell you a little bit more. It's been a while, so I had to really go back and recall everything and look through my photos. But yeah, so thanks for the shout out and the challenge to tell you about my trip. I loved it. And if you guys have not checked out the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society book or the movie that's on Netflix, do it. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful story, and I highly recommend it. So let's see. Life update. I have had a very busy few weeks. We had a video shoot at the museum, and that was launched this weekend. So if you like the James J. Omar Pharmacy Museum on Facebook, you can watch the video. It's really cool. I am very happy with how it turned out. I didn't have a huge role to play. This was in the works before I was hired, but I did oversee everything, hi Sammy, that was going on while they were filming it, so it's awesome. And then we had our open house last Saturday, and that was a huge success. It was crazy busy. We were open 3 hours. We had over 200 people through our doors, and it was just nonstop. It was exhausting, but awesome. We had over 60 people participate in our Cod Liver Oil Challenge, including yours truly. Again, if you want to have a giggle, there's a video of that up on the James J. O'Mara Pharmacy Museum Facebook page. Yay! Oh, God. Yep, it was nasty. Ugh. But I did it. And then just yesterday, I was at a pharmacy conference with, we had a booth for the museum. So it's been a busy few weeks, but I am happy to say that my grant went through, so I will be employed for another year. Yay! Money! More stitching! Woot woot! Food for my cats, right, Sammy? That's all she cares about. That's all she cares about. So it's a huge relief. I was pretty stressed about it. It's it's hard when you are working contract positions because you're like, what do I do afterwards? And there can be a transition where there are weeks or months at a time that you're unemployed, and that's extremely stressful. So if anyone else works contract work, you'll probably know how I feel. So yeah, it's nice to know that I will be there for another year. I have loved working at the Pharmacy Museum so far, and I have a lot of ideas and plans for the future there, so I'm glad that I can implement them. So, yay! Now on to stitching, which is what you're all here for. I've just blabbed on for 15 minutes and not shown you anything stitchy-wise. So, because I've been so busy, I have not had as much progress as I would like on my stitching projects, but I did just finish something this morning. I'm so excited. Are you excited, Sammy? She's excited. It is Pump Kit. This is from the Just Cross Stitch magazine Halloween issue from this year. And it's so cute. So cute. I love it. There we go. So I just finished that this morning. She's showing me her belly. Oh, Sammy. So happy to finish that. It took longer than I thought. I mean, I suppose it is pretty much full coverage. But I think just because there's 3 different shades of orange in here, so just making sure that they all went in the correct spot was the hardest part for me. So that's it for finishes. I don't have any FFOs. I don't think. No. It's been a slow couple of weeks. I do have a lot of whips, though. I just keep on starting new things. It's terrible. Okay, so this first one, which I will be working on today, is the October Wordplay by Brenda Gervais. I love it so much. And I'm almost halfway through. So there I am. Got some umpkins. I ran out of thread before I could finish the P. So I'm just working on the cauldron right now. I've got the witch's broomstick, but no witch, so the broomstick is just floating there. I got a couple needle minders. Isn't it cute? It's a cat dressed as the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. The Scarecrow's my favorite. And I coffee dyed this fabric. So right now there's a lot of excess, so I just folded it over because it kept getting in my way. But I'm excited about that. I love it. What next? I've got a lot of fall things on the go. Isn't that right, Sammy? Yes. It's autumn. Yes. My next whip is Plum Street Samplers Autumn U with a shoop. Because it's just one. Just one sheep is a shoop. And there's my progress. And I've got a shoop needle minder. I've got needle minders now. I only have 4. I got them from a lady on a cross-stitch buy and sell Canada group on Facebook. I don't think she has an Etsy store. I just bought them off of the Facebook group. So I've got some more lollipops working up. So it's pretty small. This guy's like 83 by 81. And I think this is about 50. So obviously I didn't center my fabric very well in the hoop, but whatever. And what did I do with this? I dyed this fabric. This is 18 count Aida that I first dunked lightly in black turtle beans, and then I dunked it, flash dunked it in coffee, and then I popped it in the oven. So it's got some good texture. Anyways, I really like it. So that's that one. And that's really slow going. I don't know why. It's going to take me forever. I won't finish it by this year. It's mostly full coverage-ish. No, it's not that big, but whatever. I think I worked on this a little bit. This is, I'm not going to take the chart out. This is Prairie Schooler, Prairie Seasons, the autumn chart, and I just filled in the barn a little bit. So it's coming along. This is another one that I wish I had more progress on, but I don't. Womp womp. Let's see. Next, I've got, Sammy, you're so cute. I wish everyone could see you just rolling around with your tummy hanging out. Is Farmhouse, or Little House Needleworks, Farmhouse Christmas, Dairy Darlin. And this is my progress. So I have the cow and then some of the chicken left to do, and then it's just snow and the rest of the border. I started the chicken and then I had to pick out its butt because it was off, so there was a joke about chicken butts on my Instagram. That gave me a lot of trouble. But it's super cute. I love that wagon. This is on 14 count oatmeal Aida that I also dunked in black turtle beans for a little bit to make it more gray. Sorry for sniffling. I'm coming down with a cold or something. I've got like post-nasal drip and it's just, I'm feeling nasty. I'm feeling worn down. If you hear the vacuum, that is outside. They vacuum the hallways. I live in a condo. This is a new start. It's pretty pitiful, but it's Little House Needleworks 3 Snowy Hills. And this is where I am. So right here. This checkerboard and then the green from the poinsettia, I guess it is. That's what I'm working on. This is on 18 count Aida. That is black turtle bean dyed. So it's gray. I'm not using the called for. I'm using a mixture of DMC and Valdani. So I'm using Valdani Forest Greens for the green. For the red, I will be using Valdani Rich Wine. And the rest are DMCs that are called for. So, yeah. I've been making working copies so that I can highlight areas I've done, so hopefully I have less mistakes. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that's a new and very small start. We're in a new location, which is my living room, because it's better light and I'm sitting on the floor. Last whip. One of my favorites is Kathy Barrick's After the Rain. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm doing my own color conversion. I'm using blues and yellows. And this is where I am. I've got a stitch needle minder. He's my fave. So I've done her skin and her all the way down to her arm, and then I'm working on her little purse. It's slow going. It's pretty slow going. But I really enjoy working on it, so I think I have less finishes because the projects I am choosing now are bigger. Now, they're not, you know, huge, but they're still bigger than what I'm used to, so I think that's why I don't have as much completed as I did before, because the things I'm working on are bigger. So that's it for whips. I'll show you some haul. It's a lot, guys. I've gone off the deep end. Just take all my money. First, I want to show you some fabric I got. I don't know what I'm going to do with it because I don't have a sewing machine, but you know, if anyone knows how to make project bags for, you know, a reasonable price, hit me up. This is some Halloween fabric I found. Okay, look at this. Look at this fabric. It reminds me of the Haunted Mansion. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I think this is... No, it's not written. I forget who the designer is. But this one's the same designer, so maybe... Is it cotton and steel? Can't remember now. But, look at that. The ghosties. Oh, so cute. So cute. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but they're cute. And next is all charts. So this first one I found, sorry guys, sniffles. Only when I'm filming. All of a sudden my nose is like, I'm really itchy. This first one I found on a cross-stitch buy and sell for Canadians Facebook group, and it was on my wish list. It's Lottie Da's Briar Rabbit. I love it. I would probably stitch it on a lighter fabric and maybe do the alphabet a different color, but so cute. So cute. So that's that. Next, and Michelle will be really excited to see this. This arrived on Thursday. No, Friday. And I won this in one of her giveaways that she does every week on her Flosstube. And it's Marvels of the Coral Reef. And I won it. She sent me a cute note on a purple cat Post-it note, which is like the best thing ever. It's cats and it's purple. Two of my favorite things. So, yeah. I'm going to stitch these fish, at least one of them, and hang them up here because my, this is my bed comforter, but right now it's a little still not cold enough for me to use it, so it's on my couch. But it's seahorses. My parents got it for me. But my whole living room is like ocean nautical themed. So you can see I've got some art up here. The whale tail and this ocean scene in the middle were done by my friend in my museum program. She is an artist and she's awesome. So I bought her work at the school show. And then this one, which is a seashell, I also bought at the student show. But I don't know the artist. So I love art. I love art. And I love this chart, so thank you, Michelle. And you can see it again on Flosstube, just like you want it. And hopefully again when I finish one of the fishies. In like 5 years. Just a heads up, it'll probably be 5 years. Speaking of Michelle, Bendy Stitchy, she's a bad influence, but like a good influence, but also bad in terms of finances. She is starting a sow on October 1st called the Turkey Sow, or hashtag Turkey Sow. And she's doing these. Now, she's already done one, but I had to get it because it's so cute. It starts October 1st. I don't know if I'll have I'm actually buying the fancy floss for these, which is mostly Gentle Art and Weeks Dye Works. So I still have to order the floss, so I probably won't get it in time to start October 1st, but I mean, it's okay. I'll still stitch them. They're cute. I am just using DMC 5200. I'm just using white for like the border, so I could get started on the border October 1st until the rest of my floss arrives. Which, I don't know, because Canada Post might be going on strike because apparently they don't make enough money. But whatever! Not talking about it. Not talking about it. We are going to talk about this. These are so cute. This is by Lindy Stitches. I bought the PDF version and I just printed it out. And they're pretty tiny. Well, they're 71 by 70 inches. So I've already picked out my fabric, which is just an 18 count Aida that I coffee dyed. So I can't wait to start it. I'm so excited. A couple other online charts I bought were from Primitive Acorns, and the image is sort of distorted, but hopefully you get the hint. So this is Halloween lamb. It's a sheep, and a witch, and an owl. All of my favorite things. There's no cat in here, but just wait. And I bought these on her Etsy shop. They're all PDF patterns. Instantaneous. Love it. This is Autumn Lamb. How could I not? So cute. That lamb has a bell. So instead of a cowbell, it's a shoop bell, which is great. And she's got a witch's hat. Love it. And then the last one I bought was, it's called Jack and the Cats. Now she doesn't have a finished, like an FFO photo, so it's just the pixelated version. Look at that. There's a ghost, and there's a cat hanging upside down with his little legs. Oh, and a pumpkin scarecrow. So cute. Love it. And these are all fairly small as well. They're like under 100 by 100, so. I'm forgetting something. Anyway, okay. And then, like, remember I told you guys that I wasn't going to order anymore from the Cross-Eye Bear on Etsy? I did. Whoops! Whatever, it's done now. So, this is what I got. First one is Country Cottage Needleworks Daisy Sampler. Isn't that so cute? I love daisies. They're one of my favorite flowers. So I had to have it. And I'm going to stitch it and put it in my room. Next is Little House Needleworks Woodland Sampling. I'm on a sampler kick, guys. I think they're so cute. This has a little gray squirrel, a cardinal, and a bunny. How could you not love it? She included a free chart by Lottie Da called Fallen Leaf, and I won't show it to you, but it just uses 2 colors, and it's the cutest little quote. It says, "A fallen leaf is summer's wave goodbye." Oh my God. So cute. I can't. Oh, I'm gonna have to stitch it. It's happening. I don't know, probably next year. What does Linda Jo say? Next year, Sal? It's next year, Sal. I got Grandpa's Pickup from the Farmhouse Christmas. Now, like I said before that I wasn't going to do all of them, and I still maintain that, but she released the last one, number 9, which I think is called Baba Black Sheep. Darn! You beautiful soul. I need it. I need it. Oh well. Next is my first hands-on design chart. Kathy Haberman. Did I say that right? Hopefully. Apparently, she broke the internet. So many floss tubes I watched, they're like, sorry, I said your name wrong. So, this is North Pole Trading Company, and I love it. Although I think I'm going to change the scarf to red checks, and then the sign to like a Christmas green. I like the traditional Christmas color. Oh, I hope you didn't see the chart, sorry. Most of these are Christmas. Whatever. Next is Country Cottage Needleworks Wonderful Time of Year. Super cute with the little gingerbread men. Love it. Or ladies, you know, I don't discriminate against gingerbread cookies. I don't discriminate against biscuit gender. And lastly, I've jumped on the bandwagon, although I probably will not start said project this year. But I found this. Yeah, I got it. I mostly got it. For this, I think this chart is gorgeous. And this one happens to be called Home for the Holidays, like the book. But, I mean, this cardinal's beautiful. And actually, when I do stitch it, I will probably only stitch the cardinal. We'll see. We'll see. This book is beautiful. Beautiful. So this is the one that I really want to stitch. And it's 86 by 88. So maybe I'll get it started for this Christmas. Probably not. Like, look at this Christmas garden. Stunning. I do actually kind of want to do one of these stockings. There's several different stockings. But the one I want to do is decorating the tree. And I want to put my initials, DMW, instead of XYZ. M is for Megan. My middle name is Megan. And then 2018, or whenever I actually finish this. 2025. There's a cute little pin cushion in here called the Meadow, which is super cute. There's lots of good things in here. And then, of course, 'tis the season. C'est la saison pour être joyeux. It's really pretty. Really pretty, but also quite large. Maybe next year it won't look so intimidating, but for now, I'm scared. So these are much more manageable for me, which is fine, you know. Stitch what you want, otherwise it's not really a hobby. It's, you know, a burden, and nobody wants that. Sorry about that. So I think that's about it. Hopefully I'll have a few more finishes, if not maybe an FFO the next time I talk to you guys. Let's see, who have I been watching? Basic Stitches, I've been watching a lot. Fat Cat Flossing, I've started watching. I just discovered Pam's Crafty Corner. She's also in Newfoundland. What? That's exciting. And oh, I'd love to meet her. I'd fangirl all over her. She stitches beautiful things. Yeah. And then my favorites, I've got Priscilla and Chelsea, Kitten Stitcher, Teresa, Jen Stitching Niche, Michelle Bendy, Carmen, Broadway Stitcher, and everyone. I don't know. If you guys have a Flosstube, let me know. Like, I want to watch them. And, you know, watch me too. And give me a like and a subscribe and comment or whatever. Follow me on Instagram. I'll put my ID below. I did change my Instagram. It's now at Tuxie Twins Stitches. So it's easier to find me now. And I think I'm going to try and FFO this today. I have tomorrow off. My boss gave me tomorrow off because I've been working overtime so much. So, and because I have not been feeling great this past week. So she was like, take Monday off. You've earned it. I was like, thank you. Thank you. So I have tomorrow off, and it'll probably either be stitching, napping, housework, cat cuddling, all of the above. So yeah, I hope everyone has a lovely Sunday afternoon, and I will see you all next time. Bye!